Looks like we're ready to start streaming. Let's go. Welcome back again. It is Monday. Great news. We don't have a CME gap for the first time ever, maybe. But we'll kick it off. We'll kick off Monday with it anyway. It has been a not so explosive weekend. Price trading largely sideways, volume down. It is a holiday week. We have all of the holidays coming. Hopefully you guys spent some time with your family already this weekend. That's what I did literally all weekend. And so I haven't had too much time on the chart, but I don't think I missed anything. We're going to jump into it. We're going to look at what's going on, what the week ahead might have. Will Santa bring us presents or coal? Are we naughty or nice? Hopefully the charts give us an idea. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on any platform, welcome. Say hello. We are live on Kick, Twitch, Rumble, X, just everywhere. You can join us over at the main channel at youtube.com/TomCrown. That's where most of the people are. We're going to get into Bitcoin, altcoins, but of course, we might even start with gold and Tesla. They are moving very, very strongly. It seems like gold and Tesla may be stealing our bull run. This has been a year, man. 2025. We are looking at potentially Bitcoin down for the year while gold and stocks close up. Unheard of. I don't think that was on anyone's bingo card for this year. I doubt anyone predicted that last year. I don't know. This has been a ride, but we're here together, fam. Before we start, I do want to say this is just a show. I'm just a guy. I get things wrong. I do my best. I've been trading for many years. I've been trading in front of you guys for many years. I do my best with analysis and live trades, but by no means am I always right. So please do not take what I say as financial advice. If anything, take what value you can from the stream, whether it be technical analysis, sentiment analysis, just self-confidence, mindset, whatever it is, take it, enjoy it. The community tends to be a big value here, but don't think that anyone is ever always right. People like to pretend they are, but those are scammers. That's the one thing we don't do here is we're not scamming, we're not grifting, we're not looking to take advantage of you guys for money, and that is rare in the crypto and trading space. So if you found this channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe. We are so close. Let me pull this up here. We are so close. There it is. 199,051 subscribers. We are in spitting range of 200K. At the trajectory we are at, we will hit 200K by the new year, before the new year. Though I have a feeling the next few days are probably going to slow down in traffic and make us wait. But it's okay. We'll get there inevitably. I'll leave this up somewhere on the screen. I don't know. For you guys to watch, cheer for. If you subscribe in real time, this will roll over. Very exciting. All right. I wasn't prepared for today, so maybe you guys will have to help me prepare. Let's look at gold first. Gold is wild. Dude, what a year. I agree. It has been a crazy year, even if it hasn't been the year that we wanted or expected. We have seen some absolutely insane things happen this year. A lot has changed versus the start of the year. Expectations probably up there the most changed versus the beginning of 25. But despite crypto not having a great year, other stuff is, and I don't really know how to cope with that. It's a weird feeling. Gold is looking to close almost a 70% year, pushing all-time highs right now today on a Monday, on a holiday Monday. Gold is pushing all-time highs. Silver has exploded this year as well. We can definitely look at silver at some point in this episode. It's not currently moving, but silver, man, what are we up this year? 137%, double that of gold. This has been, I don't even know. I've been trading 8 years. We've been streaming here, or maybe more. We've been streaming live here almost 7, and I've just never seen anything like this. I don't really have not like experience in this kind of market condition. It is strange. Looking back in silver's history, we got to go back to the 80s, 1979, to see something similar. So silver went 360% back then. That actually dwarfs the candle we see here today, but by no means do gold or silver look like they are chilling into the new year, and they I think very reasonably are going to look to put on gains next year. We had predicted, I said predicted, gold moving to 5,000 this year, and as the days dwindle, it's getting tighter. But gold is keeping this dream alive, now trading at 4,430. A move to 5,000 would only be 15% from here, and in 9 days, 15% is a lot to ask from gold, but gold has been delivering a lot. It's been delivering a lot to ask for pretty much all year. A clear break. This bullish structure, you guys saw me take out a 20x long on the stream, I don't know, last week, the week before on gold. We'll check up on that. It's definitely printing. But gold breaking out of a very bullish structure. There's just no way to like interpret it otherwise. Painting higher lows, retesting the previous all-time high today, and putting on ground. This is largely what Bitcoin and crypto was lacking throughout this year. We saw all-time highs on different projects and assets, but when they broke all-time high, they almost all just fell right back down. They just sold off from those highs. They failed to enter price discovery, and gold really does look like that's what it's doing here. No chill. You guys know. TikTok open the chat. What's up, TikTok friends? You guys have like 5 minutes before TikTok shuts us down for no reason. TikTok continuously just ends our streams and says it violated community guidelines, yet doesn't say that after it. It just shuts it down. So if you're on TikTok listening, you can join us over at youtube.com/TomCrown, especially after the stream inevitably goes down. Goated. What's up, Quantum Divergence? Fiat is a position. That is true. Fiat is an important position. It's not just a position. It's like the other side of the coin. You need the risk, and then you need the stability. That way you can play both sides of the markets. Never being all in or all out, I think, is the key. I don't have too much new to say about gold other than told you so, I guess. 5,000 is the target. Whether it's like 4,900 and change or 5,000 flat, that's the target, as it really has always been. This is reflected in gold's chart, but also just reflected in our psychology. As we increase in numbers and as we add more decimals and more digits to a price, the importance of what are called psychological levels grow. Gold's at 4 figures. It's blasting into the mid 4 figures, and as we go on and into price discovery, we don't have history at any of these prices, meaning we don't have resistance at any level. So markets tend to look for a few things, and this is how we usually do our analysis into price discovery, and that is Fibonacci extensions. These have been very consistent, basically using the Fib tool and estimating out the next upside targets. We've had phenomenal success with these in TradFi markets, but also maybe less, but lots of success in crypto using these as well. And the only other tool we have, and this is honestly it, and I welcome anyone listening to propose any other tools we can use during price discovery, because it is very limited, is the psychological levels. So 5,000, basically anything that ends in a 0 or a 5 can be considered a psychological level. Typically you look at things like $1, 50 cents, $5, $10, $100, $1,000. These are just easy to understand numbers. If you think of mom and pop randomly trading or randomly buying and selling any kind of asset, they're probably not going to set a sell order at $4,939.22, right? It's possible, but you take 1,000 mom and pops making the same choice, and maybe a few do. Most of them are going to look for round psychological numbers like 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. These things that are easy to understand, they're easy to visualize, and they're safe, comfortable numbers for people. That is the reasoning I have for them being so successful in price discovery. Is it's simply taking almost infinite possibilities, 4,939, 4,940, 41, 42, and slimming it down into less. And I think that is one of the best practices we can do when something is moving like gold is moving right now. And so long story short, or long story long, 5,000 is really that number sitting above. When we look at October's high to October's low, wow, that was a really quick drawdown. Our 2 or measured move target on our fib is basically at 5,000. We're at 4,000. 5,000 is the next logical number there. After 5,000, things can get tricky, because where do you go from there? You could say 7,500. You could say 10,000. I think that those are great targets. But man, it's hard to imagine gold continuing this kind of parabolic rally for any real amount of time, right? We in crypto know better than anyone that when charts move like this, we should pay attention. But charts never move like this forever. They always end up the same way, with large moves, big explosive green candles that end a rally or blow off top. At some point, that's going to happen to gold. Whether it's here or at 5,000 or 10,000, wherever over the next few years, nobody will really know, but we will do our best to follow it. So far, our gold analysis and trades has been fire throughout the years. So there's not going to be much else to say. Let me see the chats. Does anybody say any other tools maybe that I missed that you can use in price discovery? You say if you measure the price, I can take half, put it on top. That's really similar to using the fib tool. Your name is just a bunch of periods, so I don't know how to say it. But it's really similar to using the fib tool. People like to do kind of like lines and then move them up. I think that's kind of an imprecise, weird way to do it. I think using your Fibonacci extensions is better, at least more consistent. What's up, Flows? Is gold going to go up? It's going up right now. I think it's got another 10-ish%. I think potentially it could do this in the next 10 days before the new year starts. But more realistically, throughout the course of next year, right? RSI on the monthly. So RSI, any kind of oscillator, and I'll look at it for you. 𝐒𝐴𝐾, of course. Shout out to 𝐒𝐴𝐾. You're a goat. Any kind of oscillator in price discovery is a weird tool to use. Now, actually, I think 𝐒𝐴𝐾 is saying gold is still bullish because this is crazy. Gold RSI on the month is not only overbought, not only is it at 93, like I feel like I've only ever seen maybe Bitcoin or crypto do stuff like this. It is still trucking up. I kind of assumed, 𝐒𝐴𝐾, when you said that there'd be like bear div on the highs. And I was going to say, well, but there's no bear divs here. Gold is putting in higher highs in RSI and it's putting in higher highs in price. There's no divergence. There's no signal there, but sometimes no signal is a good signal, especially when you're absolutely pumping your brains out to the upside. No signal would suggest continuation. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But RSI is giving us an insight into what's happening here. You may think it's easy to see it from the chart, but it is showing us a parabolic advance. Relative strength index, the first word is relative. So anything that can have an RSI that just trends up and to the right is showing us that this move is relative to itself getting stronger. That is basically the definition of a parabolic advance. Monthly RSI for gold is describing that, and perhaps whenever this breaks, and it could be in January of next year, this advance in RSI, that could be a good signal that the top is coming or in or close, etc. But at the moment, gold is showing no signs of chill. This is wild, dude. I've never seen metals do anything like this. This data I don't trust. Back in 1950, these RSIs, so I don't even cut that. But the last time we got close, what, 1968, gold traded to almost 100 RSI, but it was only for what, a month, right? The current rally looks a lot more like 1970s, 73. These little pullbacks, higher highs, and then eventually the run is over. Let's see what that looked like really quick. Even after the monthly painted bear div, it still had 1, 2, 1.5, 1.25 legs up. So something to keep in mind with bear divs and bull divs in general is they don't typically mark the top or the bottom on their first signal. Usually you'll see bear div build, it'll flash, but you still have a move or two in that direction until it finally collapses, right? On the week, also really strong, not quite as strong as the month, but RSI remains overbought. This is the hallmark of an incredibly bullish asset. This is what Bitcoin used to look like and will look like again soon, right? It's wild. This thing is just overbought and will remain overbought, and that's what you want. If you're betting on price moving up, that's what you want to see. That's what you need to see. I don't think I missed anything. Absolutely crazy, dude. USDT, we'll look at tether dominance. Yeah, for sure. I have it pulled up. You're very new to trading. You have a CFD account on trading. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the exchange or the account is, my friend Flows. But any advice? Yeah, man, if you're new to trading, stay away from leverage. Just don't mess with it. Don't mess with leverage. It is really easy, especially when you start to make mistakes that you aren't aware you're making. Not even betting in the wrong direction or betting on the wrong thing, but orders executing weirdly, slippage, and it can result in you getting wiped out before you even get a chance to trade. The best advice, not financial advice, but the best advice anyone can give any new trader is only focus on not losing all of your money. And it sounds stupid, but it is so it's reality. Every other thing, you know, like how much profit, how much, all these things, it just like, don't even think about those things. Just think about, how can I just continue trading? You need to just be able to continue trading until you get to a point where you understand what you're doing. And almost everyone, you know how they say 90% of traders or whatever fail. I think that number is right. It's probably higher. But the reason for that isn't because they can't do it or because they're stupid or they don't have, you know, they won't be able to have the skills. It's simply they knock themselves out before they get to that point. It is very easy to fail through bad choices or just user error, especially early in trading, even when you're an expert or advanced trader. It's very, very easy to fail and basically be done because you're out of capital before you get a chance to do really anything, before you get a chance to learn what you're doing. So focus on that. Paper trading's great. Spot trading is great. That's my best advice. Everything else is kind of secondary to that. Profitable trader's path starts with not getting a small account blown up every time, man. You got to be the best loser. I like that. I like that too. Can you put a limit on the latest support? You can do whatever you want, brother. You can do anything that you wish. We haven't even looked at Bitcoin yet. Bitcoin's looking a little bit better than at least Friday. Look at this weekend price action. This is 𝐒𝐻𝐧. Just sideways tap up. But this is slowly looking better. Slowly looking good. 89.4 thousand was our resistance over the weekend. And we did the thing I was complaining about Friday. We put in some higher highs and some higher lows. This is a low time frame. So it is not a back to all-time high signal necessarily, but it is the start of something. Doesn't look quite as good when you zoom out. But it's something, right? It's a beginning. I think what helps is just inverting the chart, getting rid of a bunch of stuff, inverting the chart, looking at price upside down. And to me, this does not look like something that wants to pump. This looks like something that lost its momentum and wants to reverse. And luckily, the chart is inverted. Right on the 4 hour, starting to see a similar momentum leg breakdown. Momentum leg breakdown. Certainly can kind of tap liquidity like we saw last time before reversing, but to me, I think these are starting to rhyme. Starting to look similar. I have not lost hope that Bitcoin will have an all-time high before the end of the year. I guess I'm just going to keep saying that until it happens or it doesn't. We're going to find out pretty soon. Very soon. We have 9 days and 6 hours, son of a bitch. Oh. Well, like I said at the beginning of the show, not always right. I've had a lot of really good calls, including gold. A lot of really amazing, legendary calls in my time, but I've also had some terrible calls. Maybe Bitcoin all-time high in December of this year is one of them. We'll find out very soon. What's up? Call me Daddy. Prince, Tommy. Lots of people following over at TikTok. Did they finally ban us or something? See a lot of people popping in. Make sure to say hello if you're over on TikTok. Tap the screen if you're on YouTube or X or whatever. Say hello as well. Engage, subscribe, follow. We are 949 subscribers away from 200K on YouTube. Big numbers. Never thought I would get this far, honestly. Well beyond any of my expectations. Humbled by you guys. We're going to look at Tesla next. Higher timeframes for Bitcoin are obviously not looking super great. Higher lows is the best thing that I can say here, but these candles show no real enthusiasm for any directional price action. 2 weeks ago did close kind of strong at a higher low. Market Cipher B gave us a nice little signal here, but so far there has been no follow through. Can we look at 𝐢𝐭𝐡? What's that up and run? Tell me about it. Throwing you off without my glasses. Who am I? I am Tom Crown's twin brother, who doesn't wear glasses. Yeah, dude. I've told you guys about him. A lot of people are gonna be confused. I still got him. We'll still rock him. We'll still rock him at times. Just especially when the market's been so boring again, and kind of people are being worried, scared about bear markets, about some bad price action coming. I thought it was useful to just have that little bit more human connection, right? Also, they are slowly but surely phasing out those sunglasses, and eventually they won't exist. So, yeah, it is what it is. What's up, Namir? Sweet Biddy, thanks for the heart. Jimmy Flamingo, user 1823, whatever. Probably a bot. Welcome. Yeah. Ooh, we have another weekly close. Did we have? Okay. Our weekly close did not give us. I was really worried that this was going to have signaled. Even though it was a crappy weekly close, we did not get the signal I've been worried about. Bitcoin's weekly Ichimoku cloud has still not twisted. I mean, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, though. Who knows, right? I mean, this could happen next week's close. We haven't really gotten farther away from it twisting. We haven't moved away from that potential, but at least we've held it off here. This is something I've been talking to you guys about. I have no idea for how long now. Forever. Everything seems like forever. A signal that I've observed at the peak of every bull run. We have had the Ichimoku cloud weekly twist 26 weeks in advance, and basically usher in a bear market. This can happen and we not have a bear market, yes, but this is kind of the last signal I've been waiting for to see and confirm for me a bear market, and still not here yet. So maybe holding on to a little hope. You see this back in 2021, we saw this back in 2018. It's just like the last thing, right? We have all the other kind of check marks of things, and this is maybe the last one that remains. Like I said, I do remain hopeful. I don't even hopeful is a word. I do believe we still have an all-time high by the end of the year. Bitcoin surprised us this entire year. It would not be the craziest thing I've ever seen it do if we did have crazy upside price action in the next 9 days. But even if that is not the case, and even if we are moving into a bear market or already in a bear market, I have higher confidence that we will see a retracement, a move back to the upside. This has been a prominent feature of every cycle. After the all-time high, after price action has moved downwards, we have seen a dead cat bounce or a retracement of some kind. In the past, that has brought us back to the 200 daily moving average, which sits about in this zone. If we want to make it vague, maybe 100K to 110K is a good target. Want to be a little more specific, like 103, 102 to like 106. The probability, and that's all we can ever speak about in trading. We never can say we know something will happen or something's guaranteed to happen. We just talk about probability. The probability of moving back to this level, I would put at, and of course this is objective, 75%. I think the odds are really, really good. That's good news and bad news. The bad news is, well, moving to that level and selling off looks exactly like every other bear market. That would be extremely bearish and likely be the nail in the coffin for this cycle's run. The good news, though, is if you're in an underwater position, meaning, I don't know, you bought Bitcoin at any of these times, if you're, especially newer people, if you didn't take any profits over the last years-ish, which I barely took any, if like not even a meaningful amount, I'm in that boat. This is an opportunity to potentially do that. On a retracement, we could look for potential spot selling. We could look for a head short position to be opened if you know how to do that, if you understand the risks involved in that and the advantages of it. There is time. There's still time to position. You might not be selling the top, but you are likely to be able to get something 15 to 20% higher, I'd say, than panic selling right now. There are no guarantees, but this is my plan. I can't tell you what to do. I can tell you what I'm going to do. My plan is when this happens, I'm going to look, and I already opened a piece of short at 93.3. I'm going to look to open a low leverage short about 106. If we see trading higher than that, I might look to sell a little bit of spot of my Bitcoin. I'm not going to be all out. I've been doing this, 8 years? 8 years. Stacking Bitcoin. I don't ever want to be all out of Bitcoin, but I wouldn't mind having some stables taken, just locked away. That way in the next year, if things are really boring and depressing, I'll still have that fiat to just sit on and be like, well, if it goes lower, I can just buy more Bitcoin, right? I can just deploy these stables and maybe feel good about it, getting a little discount. That's really my only objective for the next year, 2 years, whatever, is to be set up where I am not stressing about price action, where I'm not totally dependent on it going up, because we look back in history and the odds are not great of that next year. That's it. I'd like to have some kind of short open just to be able to play this move down if it happens. And above all else, I am going to remain positioned for higher prices. I'm going to remain looking upwards as I have for almost a decade now. Meaning I'll be holding on to, easily 90% of my spot bag and waiting. This is the world's greatest waiting game. And after this cycle, man, it's going to be interesting. Going to be really interesting. The next bull run, whenever, wherever that looks like, if this is it, and we just go into the bear market now. If this is it, the next cycle, I think might be really, really unbelievable. Two famous last words from Eric Trump. But the lack of retail, the lack of euphoria, the lack of any kind of, altcoin, anything, I think will result in a much higher bear market low. I don't think we're going to see the 75, 85% retracements of the past. I think we see a much higher low. It'd still be scary. It'll still be painful. But I think that higher low will set us up for the next cycle to have a much higher, maybe I will even say a non-diminishing return high. I don't know how it would work any other way. That's my opinion. Got a little lost in the sauce with the corn, as we do. We can look at tether dominance. I do want to look at Tesla here first for a little bit. Let me jump to the chat, see what you guys are looking at. Tesla also at all-time highs today. Elon Musk still the richest person. I don't know if this is true, but I saw an infographic that said that Elon Musk is not only the world's richest person, but he is now richer than the world's second, third, and fourth richest people combined. Guys, I love science. I love progress. I love things that progress humanity. I think they're great. I'm all about them. I don't think that one human having that much money is good for anyone other than that. Maybe not even for that human. I don't know. It's weird. This is weird. It seems too bubbly though, right? Tesla's chart looks like it wants to go to more all-time highs. Where's Bill Gates' liquidation? Does Bill Gates have a liquidation? We haven't gotten shut down on TikTok yet. That's different. Let me ask X. Bill Gates is known to have a very large short position on Tesla. I wonder if his liquidation is known. That'd be a really good upside target. Let me ask Grok. I'm not going to look it up right now. Tesla short. Is Tesla short? That'd be a good upside target. But this does not look like it wants to chill, and Elon Musk now at the footsteps of being a trillionaire. Bonkers. We have been calling for an all-time high for quite some time. This chart did take a long time. Tesla has been, in reality, one of the best behaved charts. And when I say that, I mean, throughout the years here, we have had insane trades on Tesla using really simple concepts. And it just keeps going. Tesla respects the TA. It likes to do these clean back tests, these clean hits of resistance, moving to support, then moving higher. We have hit this chart over and over and over again. I remember in 2023, us calling $100 on Tesla being a buy. Now it's at $500. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's hard to imagine it going higher, but I don't know. Unless this chart all of a sudden behaves very differently, that seems to be its choice. 400% up. So let's do the same analysis we do with everything. Pretty much the same way we got 5K on gold. Let's do the same with Tesla. Let's use our fib tool. It's time. This is going to give us some wacky numbers, but all-time highs always feel wacky. There it is. There it is. I called it. I called it. I knew it was coming. It's like TikTok heard us say it. We made it to 30-ish minutes this time. That's twice as long as last time. "30 minutes and 50 seconds. We made it. It was so close. It was so close. I didn't look at 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐢𝐧. I gotta finish Tesla and stuff. Tradefly. Fight James Win Fund. Oh, God. I'll share that gibberish with you guys then. Okay. All right. I'll pull that up. Okay. FU TikTok every time. Let's use this tool. I want to look at. We'll do this for Tesla, and then we'll move on. And I will look up the 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐢𝐧 for you up and run. All right. Using December into April. All right. Of 25. Using the Fibonacci extension tool. What do we get? We get 813 as our 1618 and our about 1100 for our measured move target. Interesting. Now, what I like to do is also go and take previous highs. So we'll look at 2021's high into 23's low at 100 and see where that gets us. I like to look for confluence between the two extensions. And where do we get? None. None of the above. We don't. That's the answer. We don't. None of those are clean numbers, which is interesting. That Bill Gates search just finished. Bill Gates has maintained a significant short position against Tesla stock for several years. Reportedly results in substantial losses at Tesla's price. Musk has repeatedly suggested that Gates has not closed his short, including comments in November urging him to exit the position. I mean, that would have been great advice, I guess. Gates has incurred $1.5 billion in losses over the next several years. You know, $500 million in size. I mean, I guess for Gates, that's really just not a big deal, is it? There's no public confirmation that he has liquidated the position. Estimates of the loss total vary. Some sources disputing the 10 billion figure is exaggerated. Okay, I guess there's no publicly known anything about it. Cool. That would have been fun, though. If he would have had like a liquidation at like 560, I'd have been like, dollars to donuts. Short 560, wherever that liquidation is. Press go right back down. There is no confluence here. Maybe putting the chart on regular. Sometimes I like to just mix it up, especially for stocks. 750-ish in this zone. That would be a logical target. 725 to 750 on a break of 500. Nothing clean here. Clean. Hard to know. At this point, I would likely just not bet against Tesla. I would not bet down on Tesla. Certainly not today. If you are in a position and have been for a while, $500 is probably going to age well. Even though I'm thinking this could go a good bit higher, right? In the shorter to midterm, it is unlikely that it will just continue this trend, right? 500. Probably not a bad call. If we do see Tesla move higher, let's say up into the 600-700 range, there may be a solid entry back at 500, looking at some kind of scalp resistance turned to support. I think that's the only play I would take. I would not be looking for a position right here today near 500 for that 700-ish move. I think that's really, really risky. There's been a lot of opportunities to buy Tesla. It has shown us that it does like to behave as a chart, and I think it makes sense to lean into that. And if you're interested in a position in it, I think patience is going to be your friend there. Let's see this. Yes, Streamlabs access suspended. Screw you. Up and run. That was 15 minutes ago. I'm sure you're still here because you're G. Copy. And then I'll tell you about the world's worst trader has challenged me to a combat. It's weird, guys. Why does Tom Crown? What's up with Tom Crown and like fights? Not fighting people. I don't fight people, but like we had the thing last year, the year before with Nick Carter that they were like offering me to come fight him. Like, what's up with this? I don't know. Maybe it's destiny. Maybe I'm supposed to. But I'll tell you about this in a second. Let's AUKI. 𝐒𝐴UKD. Wow, that looks like absolute shit, my friend. Up and run. If you just found this and you are a buyer now, you're probably in a good position. If you have been trapped in a position at all from any time, you're in trouble. You're not looking great. So, hold up. Ooh, okay. 118. 105. Wow, this chart does not look good. You've got like beginning price action, high, higher low, all-time high, and now just limp, lower high, lower low, higher high, fake out, lower low. This chart's gotten nuked into. I don't know anything about this chart though. So if this is the next big thing, man, good luck. My skin is so dry. Stupid holidays. Seeing some kind of recovery, some kind of bounce here. You do have a solid stripe of resistance on this chart. I'd say like 10.5 to 11.8 cents. Then on the weekly time frame, aiming a little higher, a little bit more optimistic, 16 to 17 cents. You see the 50 and 20 weekly moving averages looking to converge there. I think that this is an area of very solid liquidity, maybe 17.1 to be exact. As these two moving averages come down and cross there, I think that this is probably in its future. Moving higher is going to be a hard sell. The market's conditions will have to really be different if that's the case, but right around here, I think it's definitely possible. Definitely possible. You gotta get through here first. That is rough. Selling pressure is very slowly waning. VWAP is coming up. This has been sold incredibly heavily, though RSI remains pretty elevated. I would bet this is due for a bounce. I have no idea that bounce will stop here or if it will bring you to the 16, 17 cent zone. That could take a long time or it could happen quickly. But don't have a ton of confidence after that. Like if it hits here at all, I would be out of my position like totally. If it moves up to 11.8, I'd probably look to close some of my position and hedge, but here you go. I will keep this somewhere on my radar. This is an interesting setup because this chart looks like trash, but you do see that all-time low sweep. And I have seen some charts tap those all-time lows, reverse, and then make real moves. I don't know. That is an all-time low. You're coming off of it. I probably would not look for a position on this. That would be a very rough bargain. Very rough bet. What have you brought me? What have you brought me up and run? Okay. What's up? Yes, we can. Subscribing. Getting us closer to 200K, but I guess someone else unsubscribed, so we're right back here. To 949 to go. To 200,000. All right, let me pull up the chat. Not pulling up TikTok's chat, because you're showed TikTok. What's up, Steve? How you doing, bro? Steve H in the house. Interesting 2026 coming up. I mean, 2026 is definitely gonna be something. It's hard to think it's gonna be worse than this year. I really think that is the pain point for this Q4. It's like if it's like done now and we have a year to go of like bear market coming up, this is a hard pill to swallow. Like, this is incredibly difficult. What was I doing? I was pulling this up. Oh, yeah, I was pulling the chat up for X, even though no one ever really talks there. Popping it out. It's an incredibly hard pill to swallow to think that there's like, we're just starting this process, right? And that the next year is going to be worse. I think that's a lot of it. Because price action hasn't even swept April's low. We haven't even technically broke down. Like, at this point, we are still, from the macro view, like if we don't include a 4-year cycle view, if we kind of dismiss the history, we are just doing what we've done every year. Like, it is no different than August of 24 into April of this year. Like, you held your low, you moved all-time high, you held your low, you moved all-time high. Like, nothing has actually happened. Once we break 74, then things we can say, oh, structurally we lost a low. Now we'd be looking for that lower high, enter the bear market. Like, I think it's just the mindset, the idea of like, man, what if we just dump for another year? Like a full year. Like that's painful. What's up, 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐿? What's up, Tradefly? You still here, bro? Das Peach is here, D'Lo Brown, Ed Moust, Gasper, 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐿, McPooch, Matrala, Paulo Boyle, Rithu, Steve Hickey, Sweet Beatty, T Money, Tradefly. What's up? Was Genome. These are some very chillin' streams lately. Very chillin' energy. Done for another year to be the end. I mean, Bitcoin would be fine. That's the thing. Bitcoin is always going to be fine. There's just like no real scenario where that's not true. It would just be more of the same. It would be painful. But it's always been painful, man. It's always been. And now that the fear of Bitcoin going away is off the table, I think it's been off the table actually for like 5 years now. But now that we're all accepting of that, basically, it's becoming a mainstream thought. The pain's got to come somewhere else. The pain, maybe that's a reason we were able to get away with kind of like quicker retracements, kind of sharper retracements. Is there was always that thought of it's like it's done, and now that's not real. It's not. We're past that. Bitcoin is not gonna stop. It certainly will not stop in our lifetime. It could stop in like a post-capitalistic world, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna live to see that. I don't think we're so lucky. Yeah, silver and 80. I think silver's moving past 80. I think silver's gonna go to 100. Honestly, I think silver's gonna go more than 100. Silver to 100 by the end of the year is running out of time. But it could happen. If gold goes to 5,000, you see silver going to 100 by the end of the year. I don't think silver's done at all. I would like to see silver backtest 54 bucks. Come back, pay tribute to that resistance bounce. But we're in price discovery. Betting down is a very strange bet. Especially after all this time, after all this selling, after all this crushed hope, all of like the bags weren't packed, right? Yeah. Oh, silver, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Alts are made for rug pulling. Would Bitcoin drawdown be less of that mine? I mean, I think it's reasonable that the drawdown will be lesser compared to previous runs. The upside was lesser. There was no. This is the biggest. Like, this is the best argument, even though there's just like not. It's not like a factual argument. It's just a logical argument. But the best kind of most bullish argument is that since there was no euphoria stage, there was no blow off top, there was no mom calling, no, you know, like no people, I'm sure someone did, mortgaging their house, going all in, like, because we didn't have that time in this run, like, this was exciting to us. This was like, to us, exciting. And there were some new people, but nothing like the other market, nothing like 2021, nothing like 2017. Honestly, not even like 2019. Without that euphoric, parabolic phase, I think it's a good bet that you don't get the same thing on the way down. There aren't those new hands, there aren't those new positions. Largely, Bitcoin's concentrated denser in the existing holders. The people that aren't going to be scared out of a downside move. They aren't going to sell into a downside move. I like what Gasper said. Don't expect anything and be prepared for everything. I think that's the best advice there is. Hold up. I'll share the ridiculousness that is people challenging me to karate combat. There we go. Okay. Well, nobody ever speaks on X. I'm closing the X tab. Join us at youtube.com/TomCrown. So, yeah, I never believed my gold or silver bags would carry your portfolio. Dude, same. So, this was real random. I was with my family. I saw this and I was like, just like not even gonna take this seriously. Not even gonna like read it. I was with them all weekend, so right now is like the first time I've thought about it. This is a real tweet by this person. I want to fight Tom Crown. When's the next crypto boxing event? DM's open. Let's see if he's up for the challenge. Bro, well, first of all, bro, where is my lawsuit? Where is my lawsuit? Where is this? Where are your lawyers contacting me? You're suing me for defamation last time we spoke. Where is that lawsuit? Is the fight gonna be before or after we go to court? That's important knowledge. That alone, and based on literally everything this man has ever said, leads me to believe that this is not a real offer, nor is it in good faith. I can only imagine like what he would have cooked up for that. I can't find that. I'll have to find the suing me thing. You guys know. But here's another thing. One, dude, this guy's never shown his face to anywhere. Nobody knows what he looks like. He goes by freaking Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, right? I don't believe that he's actually looking for this. Two, we have no idea how old he is. What's his weight? What's his height? What's his experience? Like, I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't pride myself on being the greatest boxer in the world. Never made that claim. But like, what is this? What? Everything he does is just like bullshit and lies. So I assume this is also. I don't believe this is real. What I really think it is I think he's just trying to get me to DM him. That's what I really think it is. Because after he said his lawyers are going to contact me and he's suing me, I absolutely blocked him from my DMs. I was like, we will no longer have any private communication, only public. Yeah, like what? So here's one thing, guys, is I've never done boxing. I've never done anything like that. I did like some karate when I was a kid. A lot of you know I am not a boxer. I am a wrestler. Did all the years of wrestling and grappling. A boxing event is not something I'm at all comfortable with. Now, if it was mixed, MMA mixed, maybe. But dude, who is this guy? Like, who is he? it's such a strange thing to be like, let's see if he's up for the challenge, and try to be like, oh, I'm like he's gonna pussy out. It's like, dude, what? You can't fight a cartoon picture. He can see what I look like. Nobody knows that. It's such a silly concept. Well, don't engage with it. The only reason I engage with this gentleman is for algorithm, just for views and clicks, subscribers. It's the only reason. It's the only reason. Also, because I don't know, he's just a liar in our space and a grifter, and rugger, and alleged messaging of underage girls. Crypto boxing. There's like there's two things. There's like karate combat, and there's another one. That's actually it, Byron. I am both characters. Wouldn't that be the craziest plot twist ever? If only he had never, like, pump and dumped, shill, undisclosed shill, like, if only he hadn't done all those things I would never do, then it would be such a funny twist. But I would never do those things, so. No one likes him. Dude, that is his thing. It reminds me, actually, you guys know the Choose Rich guy. And I'll admit, in the past, when I first learned of him, I didn't like him. Mostly because he was wearing blue sunglasses and being a crypto bro. And, like, I was like, you're ruining my image. This guy, you guys know this guy. This guy, right? No, I totally take it back, though. I think he's hilarious. I have nothing against this guy. It's like the same... James Wynn is doing like the same thing as Rich. It's just like instead of showing his face and being a human, he's doing it behind the guise of a cartoon character. And it's less like real life stuff, and it's just BS trading stuff. Like, I know Choose Rich, I think, sometimes talks about trading and things, but like that's all Wynn's thing. Oh, and the rugs and the scams and stuff, which I don't think Choose Rich does. Hopefully, knock on wood. It's funnier if you talk shit. Yeah, no. I know. He's regarded. Yeah. Yeah, dude, my speculation is that I've told you this, guys, before. The real James Wynn is somebody else. Someone else had that account. They blew it up because they had at one point deleted their account and they got called out for scamming and stuff. And then they came back, like, I don't know, a year ago. My speculation is that account was sold and whoever operates it now bought it. And it's just obviously to grift, to push referral links. Like, that's it. Ad revenue, sponsorship revenue. Like, I'm pretty sure that's it. That's my speculation. Farm him, yeah. Well, that's what it is. Tom would be a favorite 100 to 1. Dude, you know, here's the thing though. It's like, if this were to ever happen, you know, this dude would find some way to grift it. Like, he would make a coin or like a poly market, and he would do like, you know, he would grift it, and then my name just ends up being like associated with the grifting. You'll fight him for me. You'll sign up. All right. So that's another thing. Crypto Crimson, that's another thing. Like I said, no one knows who this person is. So it is not an impossible scenario, if like we went through all these steps, for him to just have somebody else go, right? And then be like, I won. I don't know. Yeah, right. Like, it's not impossible. Matrix Andrew Tate. It would be funny. It would be funny because Jake Paul lost, and then Andrew Tate lost, and then James Wynn to like the trifecta of the world healing. That would be. We say that Torador, but like, no, we don't know. I assume he is not a physically athletic human or fighter. I assume that, but nobody. We don't know. We don't know who he is. We don't even know how old he is. We don't know how, like, we don't know how much he weighs. We don't know how old he is. There are weight classes and things. Seems random. Acknowledge it on stream. It's good content. It's good content. Exactly, Pooch. At first he threatens to sue me. Now he wants to fight me. What a clown. They're both just like not real. I thought all win. And that's the thing is, he has a really flawless record of losing. So I hope he's 5'2", 120 pounds. We don't know. We don't know. So it's like, how do I engage with that, right? It's like, how do I even say anything back? Because like, I don't know. I don't, this isn't about Carl the Moon, but just as an example, like I've met Carl the Moon. I know his height, his weight, like I know his shape he's in. If Carl the Moon challenged me to a fight, like, let's go, Carl the Moon. Like let's whip up some engagement. Let's make this, you know, let's do this. But that's because I have seen them. I know I have like had any ability to judge them on a physical level. I don't know. He does seem like someone who's 5'2" though. Dishing out lessons. Really for me though, it's like, dude, boxing. I would. When would I ever box anyone? Like I would never box someone. Like never. Like if I got in a fight on the street, you wouldn't see me boxing. You wouldn't see me. Old timey boxing. Hell no. You'd be right to the ground. So I'm a fish out of water on that one. Monero's doing great. All-time hit. Make all-time highs great again. Let's hope. Stocks are doing all right. I still am waiting for 6,100, but it does not look like it's coming this year. SPX still hasn't broken October's high. Yeah, dude. You guys remember when BitBoy did the fight? Kick to the groin. True. Honestly, if someone tried to fight me in real life, I'd probably just run. Like, yeah, no thanks, bro. No thanks, bro. I got nothing to gain by beating you. Everything to potentially lose. You guys remember BitBoy's fight? That was like peak crypto lore, dude. The timing. Like, it was like bull market. It was like the peak of BitBoy's like popularity. Everybody was all hype. We watched it here. I remember it was one of like the biggest streams that we did on this channel at one point. Because I covered it live, kind of like FOMC. We had so many people watch it. It was a lot of fun. That was back also when Ben hadn't gone through what he, you know, his spiral. And back when him and I were acquaintances. I don't want to say friends. I don't know. I thought we were friends at one point, but I don't know if we ever were. I don't know if he ever considered me a friend. Yeah, that was a while ago. Don't be a BitBoy. What if I fought James Wynn and then I go down the same spiral hole as BitBoy? Like I blow up overnight. The channel goes to 1 million and then I start doing a bunch of drugs and steroids and I get like real crazy with my family and real crazy with women, and that would be an interesting arc. Start scamming a bunch. They say he's just a friend. Oh, you say he's just a friend, baby. Got what I need. If you guys want to talk some trash, though, also, feel free. If you want to talk some trash on this one, here's the link. Maybe I'll reply. I don't know. Oh yeah, I need to order a Lambo. I saw that crypto lifer Sammy bought a Lambo. He's taking the first steps towards the dark side. Nah, that won't happen to him. But it is kind of funny. Is there a giveaways, bro? Giveaways of what? What do you want me to give away? It's the first message ever here. What's up, Jazzby? The BitBoy arc, dude. You know, it's been enough time now that I can laugh about it. What a terrible, terrible series of events. But man, I'll be damned if that was not entertainment at its finest. That was some of the finest crypto entertainment we've ever seen, that we may ever see. This whole cycle wasn't fun. Greed is the downfall. I'm just not greedy, bro. I grew up so poor. Like I grew up just poor, right? And I mean, I wanted to be rich, but I never wanted, like, it was never like that. It was never greed. It was like, I want to have money. I want to be rich because I want to have power over my life. I don't want to depend on other people. I don't want to be a slave to my job and a slave to like my obligations and things. It was never though about like just infinite stacking of money. And you guys have seen, man, I've been on YouTube 7 years. I don't think I've changed at all. I'm certainly much better off financially than when I started. I don't think that it's changed at all. I don't think that's going to happen. But I agree, nobody's immune to it. Likely no one's immune to it. Here we go. Bitcoin's fallen again. Stay humble. I haven't let you down yet. There's been so many opportunities for me to take greed. That's actually it. It's not that I'm immune to greed, because I think that's a silly comment. Trading view froze. That's not good. Hopefully the stream didn't just disconnect. Okay. Okay. Shit. Not that I'm immune to greed. What was I saying? Lost. I don't know. What was I saying? Not immune to greed. Oh yeah, I think I've had infinite opportunities to choose greed. Not infinite, but infinite. I have had hundreds or thousands of opportunities to choose greed, and I haven't, because it's just not me. If I were to make a tweet right now on X and be like, hey, DM me your projects for promotion, I'd probably get 1,000 DMs offering me money. And all I'd have to do is like tweet shitcoin 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. It's the next Bitcoin. It's amazing. It's going to a jillion. And they would pay me lots of money for 1 second of tweeting. No, and it's just that's not what it's about for me. It's not it. I'm not that. You grew up poor, never was hungry. Same, Nimoy. Same. I don't want you guys to think I was like growing up without food. But I grew up, a lot of you guys know my story. I grew up with just my mom, who is a saint. An angel, made my life amazing. Dad wasn't in the picture, and you know, she was a single lady and single income. She did some sales and stuff. You know, we weren't like on the street. I acknowledge that there are people who were, but we didn't have vacations. We didn't have like big Christmases. You know what I mean? Like the vacations we went on, it was like our friends had a beach house or something. We'd go there. Like we didn't have like lavish stuff. I grew up very humble and very frugal. I thank her for that. It taught me a lot. I was blessed. For what I had, I was blessed, I will say. Oh, wild and personal? Dead boy story, yeah. You got into crypto, stay afloat. Now the dream lives to buy financially free. That's it, guys. Like, growing up poor, nobody teaches you about money because they don't know. Bitcoin and crypto taught me about money. They like taught me about investing. It taught me about it. It gave me the perspective also to see why I was always going to stay poor. And I made money out of college. Like I got a degree. I made money out of college. I had some good jobs. Worked for like a pipeline at one point and made like 6 figures for, I don't know, a year. I couldn't stay at that job long. But like I had some good jobs, but they were never going to get me out of my position. I was never going to change, like, I don't want to say social class because that's like weird wording, but you know what I mean? I was never going to get out of the cycle. Like if I had kids at that time, they were going to like grow up the same. They were going to grow up kind of poor. The system is not designed to allow people to escape that. And Bitcoin and crypto was the root, among other things, a source of truth, you know, among many things. You don't want to be rich. You want to live comfortably and be able to provide for your family and kids. Dude, that is the reasonable human thing to want. It is reasonable to want that. And the shitty part is I think that it's also a reasonable thing to be true in the United States for everybody. I think that is reasonable. It's not set up that way. And here I go ranting. It's not solely because of this. There are many factors, but it is definitely in part due to ultra wealthy. Finite resources. If one person controls, I don't know. It's like the top 3 richest people now own more than, like, have more net worth than the bottom 50% of the world. There are 3, maybe it's 5. I don't know what the number is. It is a single digit number of the wealthiest people have more than 4 billion people. Again, it's not the only reason, but it's part of it. It's how our system's set up. There's a lot of factors. What's up, Hemant? Goosey. I'm getting distracted. I'm ranting. Just one of those days. Slave to the system. That's it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Derek Merrill. Merry Christmas to everybody. Also, happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. Have a great winter solstice. Yesterday was the winter solstice, by the way, whether you know that or not. Alt's bleeding's never gonna end. I do have a theory. That I've shared with you guys. I don't love talking about it because I think it's not a fun concept. So everyone was expecting alts, myself included, expecting alts to have an alt season, for Bitcoin dominance to have a selling off event like it did in 21. Didn't happen. If we accept, or let's just say for this experiment, this thought process, we are assuming that the bull market is over. We're assuming that the highs are in and that we're in a bear market and next year is a bear market. Okay, those are just the context for this thought. If those things are true, I think that it is very possible, perhaps even probable, that dominance does not move up. We have seen Bitcoin dominance move up in bear markets. I propose this scary idea. I think this is the Max Payne idea. That as we enter into a bear market, if those things are true, that dominance actually trends down and makes the altcoin move that people waited for this entire cycle. Likely it makes another higher low, you know, maybe we're in like 45s or whatever, it doesn't really matter where. But that dominance does have the selling event during the bearish period. So here's what would happen and why I kind of think that this is Max Payne. Max Payne seems to be the avenue we go down. The reason this would be Max Payne is we do end up then with an alt season, but it would not be the alt season that people wouldn't see it. It would be a hidden alt season. So what would happen is Bitcoin's dollar value would decline over the year. You know, we're just doing this in generalities. Reaching the low whenever, let's just say October of next year, right? In that time, dominance would move down. Probably in line with the dollar value. Let's say it goes here. And as Bitcoin's dollar value goes down and as Bitcoin dominance goes down, alts actually would gain in this time, but they would not gain against the dollar. This is the killer part. They would gain against Bitcoin. And basically what that would mean is they would be going down hand in hand with Bitcoin, but they would just not be going down the same percents. They wouldn't be going down, if Bitcoin fell 50% from its high, alts might go like 40% from their high or something. They would have lesser sell-offs. And so they would be gaining against Bitcoin. So in the Bitcoin pair, they would be going up, but their dollar values would be going down. And effectively, that alt season would be like the inverse of the alt seasons we've seen in the past. It's like everyone would still be crying. They'd be like, they're losing. They'd still be going down in value. And probably unknown to them and many, they would be gaining against Bitcoin. I don't think it's like all-time highs against Bitcoin kind of thing, but they would be making that move that they were looking for in alt season during the bull run. And then as the bear market ended in the next year, in October or whatever, and Bitcoin reversed, we would see that flip again. And dominance would move up with Bitcoin in price. And so alts would just get stuck in this chop, in this brutal chopping. They would lose against Bitcoin again. They wouldn't go up in dollar. Like, they would go up, but they go up slower. And it would just keep all those people in those bloody positions. And it's possible that that cycle could just keep continuing until people totally gave up on the concept. I think that could be part of it in a kind of intuitive way. There were so many influencers and loud voices and people that people listened to or trusted with audiences that just kept saying alt season over and over and over again. They're still saying it probably. It's possible that we don't get an alt season like that until everyone has given up on the idea. And that does remind me of the previous cycles. Like in 2020-ish, like into the 2021 cycle, I very much remember people being like, oh, you should only be in Bitcoin, like at the top of dominance. And then alt season came, and then all throughout the bull run, 2021 into 20 whatever, or through the their bull run there, yeah, until 22, everyone was like, why would you buy Bitcoin? Nobody bought Bitcoin. No new people bought Bitcoin. They all bought alts. Wow, Bitcoin doesn't have the upside. Alts, you'll get 100x. They all got wrecked. It seems like there needs to be this point, and maybe that's the trigger of it. It's like where everyone is of the same opinion that, like, you only buy Bitcoin, you don't buy alts. And then when it's over, you only buy alts, you don't buy Bitcoin. And it's like everyone's always on the wrong side of the fence. And I think that's max pain. That would be absolutely brutal. I myself don't even know how, like, I would fare through that. It'd be insane. The alt season would be over in that scenario, and people would like have no idea that it ever started. And they'd see Bitcoin start to move up, and they'd probably be buying their altcoins again because they're like, oh, Bitcoin's going up, our altcoins are gonna go. Dude, this is the reason I share this is I think that's the scariest outcome and the most painful outcome. And I'll be damned if that doesn't kind of fit this cycle. This cycle has been all about being painful. Whatever people expected didn't happen. And I don't think really anyone is expecting that. We'll see. I hope that doesn't happen. That would be too much. Please, we've had enough pain. We don't need more. We're good. We're fine. Becker. Lasers go up here. It's funny because Becker is one of the people I was thinking of when I said that. It's not just Becker though, it's lots of people. Pudgy Penguins will retire your bloodline. Sure. Pudgy Penguins coin will retire. That's a bold statement. I don't know about that one. Hopium copium. I hate being bearish with the charts don't lie. Bro, same. I mean, I don't like being bearish. I'm a perma-bull. It hurts me. But what am I going to do? I'm not going to tell you the economy is great when you look around you and the economy is not great. I don't do that. I'm not going to tell you to, don't believe your eyes. Shit looks bad. I will remind us gently and occasionally that every major bottom in price, at least in my experience, has been marked by the same thing, by the charts looking terrible, by there being no technical reason or rhyme for it to be the bottom. That's been true. It's good hopium, but it's not actionable. You can't do anything about it. But I mean, that's true. And the same is with tops at the all-time high prices, at the peaks of every bull run I've ever seen, maybe minus this one. But the peaks of every bull run I've ever seen, it's been like everything says higher. You're in price discovery. You don't have any of these bearish signals. You're moving up, and then the tops just did. So major reversals are marked by that. But I'll be damned. That's not an easy game. And that's some good hopium, right? What a nice bull market. It would be a shame if I were to poop on it. To poop on your bull run. We are now 943 subscribers away from 200K, which is funny because we have not made a lot of progress today. I think we're up 6 since the start, but we actually are up like 10 or 20, but then we're down some. It's okay. If you don't like it here, nobody's making you come here. Nobody's making you come here, and that's why I'm unsubscribing. Giggity. Side down the hour. What else should we do today? It's 2:40. How much time have I spent live already? Let me look. One sec. C8888888. Let me see. Now we're 15. All right. January has to pump this terrible. Yeah, it is, dude. What will happen to crypto if we get more war escalation? Oh, dude, I don't really think crypto cares about those things. What would happen short term? Probably dump. Yeah. Bitcoin, crypto never misses an opportunity to take advantage of a crisis. You're a good dude, humble, big heart. Thank you, Tony Punch. Appreciate you. Crow prediction? I'll pull up Crow. I'm bored. If Bitcoin left from 15,000 all the way to 126,000, that was a bull run. That was a 111,000 move, bro. Now we are in down, and it's serious. Do not expect a new high for now. That's a very popular opinion. I would even say that's probably the majority opinion. I mean, we can always phrase things like that. I think what that statement misses or lacks, though, is, of course, 15,000 to 126,000. Of course, that is an upside move. Of course, it is a great gain. 15,000 to 30,000 would be a great gain. But what it lacks is, in the context of Bitcoin, and even in the context of diminishing returns, it's very low. It's very little. Very, very low. Think about the last market cycle from 20K, 19 something, 20K to 70, 69, 70. That's a 3.5x. This time we didn't even do a 2x. Went from 69.70 to 125. It's just in the context. We should always be grateful for the blessings we got. But it's not crazy. It's not crazy to be dumbfounded. It only seems logical. It only seems like rational because we're here and we've seen it happen. If you go back 4 years, you'd probably be like, what do you mean it'd only go that high? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, Crow looks like ass, dude. Crow also joined up with DJT, didn't it? Donald Trump's thing. I think that's not a great sign, honestly. I believe Crow also went back on some of their lifetime perks for their cards recently. In general, man, Crypto.com I'm sure is a fine exchange, but their history with coins and tokens is bad. This chart's holding on to hope. You have a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low technically, a higher high, a higher low technically. They're very close. You're still uptrending even on a monthly time frame. I'm not super comfortable with how much time and how many tests of 8 cents this chart's made, even though it's making higher highs. I would still eventually look for this. Still would eventually look for that breakout if this was inverted. This is just me. I hold some Crow still. I don't think Crow's a great long-term bet. I have a feeling they'll do more weird stuff with their coin. If you're looking for shorter term stuff, as mostly people are. That wick. I hate those wicks. The wick screwed up all the charts. Looking for shorter term price action, 15 cents above you is a reasonable, solid place to look. Currently trading at 9, so that's about a 50% move. Up here. Especially after all these weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of red. Probably not a bad idea to be betting on a reversal. You are catching a knife, so probably not betting at all. Definitely is a knife, but something like this, maybe I could personally look at. Retest of 8 cents, which is just a death kiss for it. But back to the 14, 15 range. You can get a good risk to reward there. I don't know. If the whole market reverses, if Bitcoin blasts all-time high at the end of the year, right? I'm hoping, and the market gets hot again, then that structure can come into play and you can say, woo, let's go. But that's a pretty big if. That's a lot. Great bot asset though. You would have killed it here, you know. This is, I've been saying this for a little bit, is for instance on BYDeFi, our exchange partner, links pinned to the top of the chat in the video description below. Sign up using my link for a bunch of sweet perks. No KYC. You'll get me to advocate for you if you ever have issues. But they have grid bots. Don't even have to do leverage. I've said this a few times this year. If you had set up grid bots on a lot of these coins, you could have crushed it. Imagine if you had a grid bot on Crow at like 8 cents to 16 cents, 15 cents. You would have crushed it, man. It would be like buy, 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 sell, 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 buy, 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 sell, 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 buy, 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 sell, 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 buy, buy, buy. Like, you would have crushed those returns. Grid bots are cool. Spot grid bots especially. And doubly so if it's in an asset that you believe in. Worst case scenario, you just get stuck in that asset. Price goes down. God, Monero, you're such a champ. You like the knife throwing? I've done some knife throwing. Axe throwing, I think, is easier. I like axe throwing more. Crow looks, yeah, looks crap. What's up, Varun Som Sol Junior Icon? Gonna trade in Bitcoin? All right, now I'm good on this price action. What if some people are truly held and being made to listen to this live right now? My heart goes out to them. I wish them the best. I hope they can escape. Whatever. Wait, blink in Morse code if you need us. Anybody got tips? What? You can use friction to break most ropes, most zip ties. Friction is a very powerful cutting tool when used correctly. There you go. That's my best advice. Monero, my only good spot. My only good spot trade in crypto for this quarter. And maybe panning out to be like the only good thing that I really did this year. Up at 460. We have hit so many entries on the long here. We actually haven't, though. That's new. I'm going to say we haven't hit 418. We have broken 418. Those are previous resistance. Monero has very consistently, kind of like Tesla, been back testing its moves. That could suggest another entry at 418. It's currently at 463. I think Monero is going to go to all-time high. I think it's going to go to all-time high this year. Been saying that now for months, and in the last week, it's become very, very realistic. Incredibly realistic. But so is the backtest of 418. Whether it's pre-all-time high or post-all-time high. Very realistic here. Better than buying up, praying for that move to the upside. God, Monero. I don't know what is going on with Monero. I don't know who gave it Viagra, but someone did. It's spicy. My gold long still open? Yeah. Yeah. 46% on gold. We opened that live. I think that'll just stay open. I think that was the first like 20x trade I ever took on this live. I don't usually use high leverage like that. I think it's a bad idea. Some of you were here for that. I forget who said it. Pooch, was it you? You're just like, why? You're like, if you believe that, why don't you just take the trade? And I was like, you're right, I should. I will. Stuck in VET. You're not alone, bro. Lots of people from like 2018, 17 are stuck, 18 are stuck in VET. Can we check hype? I'll pull it up. Yeah, dude, VET is brutal. Sheesh. Sheesh, yeah, dude, that's rough. I feel you. I mean, I have like I think my VET is, no, it's not staked because I needed a master node or something. But I have my VET in the same wallet I put it in after I bought it. You got a shot in hell of bouncing here. November 2020's monthly open. You got a shot. If you lose this, I mean, I wouldn't touch it until like 003. Maybe can misery average down. probably better ideas than that out there, though. $0.003. So I think it has a shot of bouncing here. It's essentially 1 cent. You can see that's actually on the chart. It's got a shot here. Even though it's trading below it right now, I could see like by the end of the year, closes up above 1 cent and then looks to retrace into next year. That could definitely play. I wouldn't look to add, like if I wanted to add, I would add here to penny, and then I would not look to add again until this is a very like clear level for me, 3 cents. Is adding on it going down a good idea? Probably not, but you know, how many times have I added to my Litecoin? We are creatures. That at least gives you a like big gap of like in this range. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't buy, I wouldn't sell, I wouldn't do anything. But if it reached all the way down here, I could look to average down. But I think there is hope here. 1 cent is a powerful psychological number. We're seeing a lot of these coins, especially on the 3-month, wrap up at very important values that if they can close just a little bit higher than they are, can look very good for a short-term move. I think VET's in that. That was you, Nimoy? You took the trade? Let's freaking go, bro. We killed it. VET is annihilated. Certainly not alone. I mean, at least this is above its, you know, at least it's not at all-time lows. John lost nothing, risked nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's John? D-Lo. I don't know. Check hype. You guys should make sure you've liked and subscribed whatever platform you're on. Join us. Ooh, I got wrecked. I bought like $1,000 of hype, maybe at like 35, 36. Riggedy wrecked. I'm right there with you. I'm right here with you. Did not catch support at 26.95. Traded lower than October. I am surprised at how many coins have traded lower than their October lows. I did not see that coming. In October, I was like, I bet a lot of these coins don't ever go back to those levels. A lot of them haven't. A lot of them haven't, and a lot of them probably won't. I think that's still correct, but I'm surprised. Without any bounce. Quarterly on hype. From its first quarter, second quarter reversal at 24. You've tapped it. I can't say this chart looks great by any means. But like I was saying earlier, a lot of charts have these quarterly values that are wrapping up in 9 days. And if they can hold those levels, literally I was just saying before I looked at this, hype's one of them. Right here. If hype can close above 24, that is a pretty solid sign that it is going to look to make some kind of retracement in the next quarter. You know, of course, it could take another quarter. You have a doji here or something and then move back up. That's a pretty solid sign. If you close below 24, you lose that previous resistance on the quarterly because this is the first test of it. Then you're probably looking lower. Then you're probably looking down in the 13 zone, which could still even happen over the course of a year. You could see a retracement, you can see a fall, and you can see it return to that 13. Of course. Someone subscribe. What's up? I am Harvey over on Twitch. We are live at twitch.tv/TomCrownOfficial. I think it's Tom Crown Official. Holding it down over there, probably with Eternal G. The main stream is youtube.com/TomCrown. Over on YouTube, we have almost 200,000 subscribers. We're trying to get there. I feel, what's weird is I feel like, obviously it's the holidays and views and subscribers and stuff slow down, but I feel like it slowed down even more after we hit 199,000. Like it's been such a slow day for it. On average, this channel gains over 100 subscribers a day, every day, all day for 3 years, something like that, for a very long time. But help us get to 200,000. Error Random subscribed over there. Yeah, you guys should also subscribe over there. If you're over here on YouTube, you still go over there, subscribe. Spread the love. You can also subscribe to us on like Twitch, or on Kick, X, Rumble, TikTok, maybe. Forever allowed to stream there. I don't get it because we didn't do anything today, and they still booted us. Oh no, Bitcoin. Oh no, this looks bad. I mean, short-term bad. It's not actually bad. Please hold your low. Please don't come down here. Please don't go under 87. I don't know why I'm saying anything. It's like, it's just gonna go sideways forever. Forever sideways. This is the new reality. The moon is now just sideways. Red week down 0.69 nice percent from the open. Stuck in that damn cloud. $88. Here we go. Yeah, the good news. It's not good news. Good news is the early candle still, I don't know, so good. Okay, the lowest point of the year, 47. Yeah, that's April. So good news is the 93.3K short that I'm still in is printing somewhat. What ugly price action. How ugly. Red is an ugly color. Green is a much prettier color. Son's training in the police department. Nice. Oh, firearms instructor trainer. Nice, dude. Cheers, Tony. Must be proud. Mitch Ray gave me solid props for having, or gave me props for having solid TA. Man, give that right back to him. Mitch Ray, you got some solid TA. I learned some of my TA from Mitch Ray. Mitch Ray's a good dude. He's a friend of mine. My lord, Bitcoin, stop. Aptos erect, I'm sure. What's up, Adam Buzzard? Hopefully the new year brings us gifts. Hopefully Santa brings us gifts, some pumps. You'll bet Poly Market really hit 200K subs before the end of the year. If we could get a Poly Market open on that, sure. Because, God, you could just buy this. What does 1,000 subs cost? Like fake subs? I don't know. Probably not a lot. It's probably like dollars, pennies. Be an easy bet. Sideways until New Year. I don't know, man. We got Santa still. Except two wheel. Gold options are printing after being down. Mitch Ray is pretty good. Mitch Ray is pretty good. Yeah, he does TA differently for me. But one thing I like about like between us is it's a good. First of all, neither of us are sensationally. We're not trying to scare you or anything. We also don't shill things. He's never accepted money to shill you projects. It's really rare. It's much rarer than you think in this space. And so for that, I respect him. But also, like, we do things differently, and people can, it's a logical approach. And it shows that there isn't just one answer in trading. And I think that's like a really important truth that people need to hear. In order to become a proficient trader, I think you need to understand that there isn't a single answer. There isn't, how do I make a trade, do it in one sentence so I can be profitable? It's just not a reality. You can do things completely different when it comes to technique and be just as successful as someone else. Just like Mitch Ray and I share, though, fundamentals that are the same. Risk management. Like, management of risk is really the core similarity. But that's the core similarity between all successful traders. No successful traders exist that don't have those same core risk management principles. And you can say they exist, but they only exist temporarily. They exist until they hit the streak that destroys them, which is just mathematically guaranteed that streak will come the longer you go. The people who survive, it's not coincidence. They all have the same fundamental thing in common. Now the real question. Are we fighting James Nguyen? I think the reason I have a feeling the reason that he did that is because I was making fun of Tate for losing. I was posting this picture a lot, and he's like a big Tate boy. He loves his Tate. He wants to smooch his Tate, just like this guy. He's actually jealous of this guy. That's why. Little smoocheroon. I love how Tate's recently. So since this fight, you guys, everyone deserves. No one deserves to be attacked. Everyone deserves, you know, to be like given respect for effort. Here's the problem: is like that's not this guy's brand. This guy's brand's the opposite. This guy's brand is like, if you're a real man, you never lose. Yeah, don't try hard. You just have to win. You have to win. If you don't win, you're a loser. Like that's this whole thing. And so then he lost. So it's like, this is just your own stuff, bud. This is literally just your own preaching. Like you would say this about someone else in the same scenario. He loves that guy. He loves all those dudes. I don't know. Clout dudes. I love that picture. It's so goofy. So many people are like, "Oh, you couldn't fight Andrew Tate." Yeah, probably not, bro. I don't know. I never said I could. Andrew Tate's probably also got like 40 pounds on me, and years of trying to fight. I don't know. I think that's why I did. I think that's why I challenged me though. What a silly challenge from a silly man. I just retweeted it. Think of what to do from there. Hour and a half into the live, nothing has happened. Bitcoin was like starting to get interesting, and then the hour closed. Did you guys notice that? The hourly candle closed, and it was like, well, we'll check back next time. Check back next time on Dragon Ball Z. Tate probably made hella money betting against himself. Maybe. Well, I'm sure he made hella money. Sure. It was I heard that was a terrible fight. I only saw some of it. Dude loves. Steve just like enters the chat. Dude love what? Yeah. This is what I don't know if you missed this part, Steve. Yeah, this is what we're talking. I said I think the reason he said he did this, the reason he tweeted this, is because I was making fun of Tate. I think he got butthurt for Tate. Oh yeah, what I was saying was goofy or funny is that since he's lost this fight now, I've noticed not just on his socials but all his like affiliated socials, it's all about trying hard. It's all about working. You know, it's all about just trying, doing your best, giving your best. And it's like that's the opposite of what you have preached to young men everywhere for years. You've told them they're losers, and now that you lost, you're like, well, it's all about trying hard. Anyway, that's it. Moving on. It's just funny. Maybe James Nguyen is Tate's alter ego. Maybe it is. That would be funny. If you heard his pre-fight talks, you wouldn't be saying that he was a complete opposite of what? Of what I was saying? I don't know. If I win, the bottom is in. If I win against him, the bottom is in. If we lose, it's 8 more years of bear market. Hard on harmonics. Yeah, I'm not a harmonic guy. I don't think there's anything. Harmonics are just fibs at their core. Harmonic patterns are literally, they're just Fibonacci retracements and combinations. I don't have anything against them. Just not how I use the fib. Which daily? Yeah, dude, it doesn't look great. I was saying like daily, weekly, like those time frames look bad. Rising wedge. Yeah, like a wedge. I mean, almost no matter what pattern it is, it's not a great looking pattern. There's just very little bounce, very little energy from the low, and that's just not what you want to see. I think it can be described as many different kind of bearish patterns, like maybe a rising channel, momentum leg, rising wedge. Yeah, price action does not look good. There's almost nothing that looks good about this chart. You'd let someone break your jaw for $92 million? True. True, I would. I would as well. I don't think he got paid $92 million though. I read that his net worth was only $20 million, so I kind of doubt that. Wonder how much he got paid for that fight. I'd say $1 million though. It's just based on nothing, based on me guessing. Oregon, yeah. Maybe you can see 31 hours there. I mean, I'm agreeing with you, Steve. Either way, like either way, this is not a bullish looking pattern. It definitely was. It was a rising wedge here. And then it broke out of that, right? It broke down from the rising wedge. And now, you know, maybe like still a weird bear flag. I don't know. No matter what it is, it doesn't look good. It's not a pattern I'm very optimistic about. 1 million? Break my jaw for 1 million? As long as I didn't have any permanent like disfiguration. As long as for the rest of my life, well, like, you know, mess jacked up in the face, yeah. If it was gonna if there was a chance I get my face jacked up, it'd have to be more than 1 million. Well, of course they cover the medical bills. Would you break someone's jaw for $10 in a beer? No. No. Why couldn't I stay above this for longer? Because this is just so chopped, bro. We're so chopped. The only thing, so I was saying to Steve, this chart looks bad. It does. The only thing that looks okay is low time frames when you invert it. When you invert low time frames, I can see this. You can see this being more bullish. Like this looks like a momentum leg building to break down, even if it trades higher and then down. But once you get to a day, a week, like anything, it really just looks like junk again. Like this looks like junk. That's my take. Oh yeah, dude. You get punched in the face, you get punched in the eye wrong once and you can, I mean, you can die. You just die. One punch that connects the wrong way, you just die. Outside of dying, you go blind, squish your eye, like you see, yeah, dude, we live very sheltered lives to these things, to violence, in a good way. I think it's a good thing. Small amounts of force. We are squishy flesh bags. Small amounts of force in the right way can devastate us. $150K by Christmas? Let's go, Tim Apple. That's the kind of bullishness we need. That's what we need. I saw someone tweet that crypto is going to lose $5 trillion in market cap over the next year. That would put it at negative $2 trillion. I thought that was funny. It gives you an idea of just how absolutely retarded people are. We have to do something about Twitter, man. Twitter is... I've been growing on Twitter because I've been taking advantage of this. But guys, Twitter literally, the formula for success is to spam lots of posts, but then to just say blatantly wrong information, like just blatantly, like intentionally wrong information. And then if you ever get called out on it, you just don't say anything. You just never reply to that. But if you do want to reply, you just say it's satire. You say it's rage bait. You know, you're just like one of these whatever responses. The problem with this though is that there's no punishment. Like there's no control on it. It's bad enough that the algorithm pushes it, but there's no control on it. Like your account can get noted, like noting is the only control. You can get noted over and over and over and over again, but your account never is like pinged for it. Like you never get deboosted because of it. You should absolutely be deboosted when you are community noted. And the more you're community noted, Maybe there's even a threshold where it's like, maybe you just get demonetized. And I think that's the answer, actually. It's like, just demonetize accounts that are constantly noted for spreading bullshit. Because at this point, that's the only formula, really. With very little exception, that's the whole formula for Twitter right now. Post bullshit. It's crazy. Breaking. Trump has authorized a $2.1 billion grant for Nigeria aimed at preventing HIV, tuberculosis, malaria, and polio. Wasn't that what we were doing before we stopped doing that? Isn't that USAID? I'm confused. Crypto, Twitter, YouTube's the deadest you've seen in years. That is true. Gold moving to all-time highs. Still. We're gonna have so many copyright claims on this stream. I've just been letting YouTube play songs. What if you get brigade noted cancel culture? You know, there's always outliers. Maybe there needs to be just some level of human review at the end of the day, right? Or at least for like the biggest abusers. But, you know, you can always say, well, what if whatever this good concept is used badly? Well, that's bad. But what is worse is literally creating a monetization model on X of this and allowing it to flourish. It is also very difficult to brigade community node on Twitter. Their system's pretty good. It is, I'm sure it is possible, but honestly, I don't know if I've ever really even read it. I've read stories about that. I'm sure it's happened. But their system is really good. I'm a community note contributor. What's my score? And you get a score. The more the notes you rate correctly, you get points. And then you level up. You don't actually level up. Yeah, I have a 50 rating impact on mine. And you get points deducted when you rate incorrectly. No system is perfect, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the system is awful and needs to be made. It needs to be changed. Platinum flying. Platinum all-time highs. That's what we were saying. Sure it is. It's flying today. Wow. By the end of the year. 6% today. It's crazy that that's flying. But yeah, it definitively has been flying for platinum. All-time highs. We've said it many times. Platinum's going to all-time highs. Let's see. What an extended move. This is crazy. This is why you really can never give up hope, right? I'm saying, I still think we see an all-time high on Bitcoin before the end of the year. This is a testament to why you can never really be well, that can't happen. Because markets, man, they will just do whatever it is that seems impossible. And before they do it, they will make you feel like the opposite. This shit did nothing. From 2019 to 2025, it did nothing. And then June, July, August, September, into right now is up 120%. Nobody ever saw that coming. Our measured move target, 2,150-ish right here, coming into play. All-time high, 2,300, 2,300. We can do this. I don't know if that's actually the move because you have this lower high. I don't know. We'll do it. What if platinum went to 5K? Platinum's always a higher rank in video games, so I think it should cost more than gold. That's my reasoning. Platinum breaks 2,300. Kind of similar to gold. I mean, I think I could see 5,000. Not this year, maybe, but over the next year, course of years. It's a crazy bet. Taking profits is our percent you look for. The percent profit is always, should always be determined at the beginning of the trade, and typically using a risk to reward that you want to trade. That's the best answer, because there's just never a single answer in trading. Your profits that you take percentage wise should be based on or in ratio to the stop loss. That's the best answer. Platinum doubled the price of gold at one point? I don't actually know that. February 2008. Maybe. Yeah. August 2008 was 1,000. Platinum was 2,000. Yeah, you're right on. So maybe platinum going higher. Maybe 5K is very reasonable for platinum. Interesting. That immediately makes me want to look at platinum gold. Platinum for a long time, in fact, for most of platinum's history, it traded higher than gold. This chart's fire. This is some good alpha. Platinum in 2000 was 2.4 times the price of gold, maybe 2.5 times. You go all the way back to like the 70s, it was like 5 times, 6 times the price of gold. When this breaks, this like trend line that we're about to see, when this breaks, I bet platinum goes bonkers. It might have already done it. It already did it. Platinum's gonna go bonkers. Platinum's going to 5K. By the end of, I don't know, next year. Just vague platinum to 5K tweet. I'm tweeting it. Because they platinum to 5,000. There you go. Bullshit. Non-informational chart. Doesn't tell you anything. Doesn't tell you a time run. Doesn't tell you reasoning. Just platinum to 5K. Fair enough. Okay. All right, we've been live 2 hours. I think that's a great time, guys. It's a great time. I appreciate you tuning in. I know that the holidays are up and coming, and we'll be live Wednesday, even though that's Christmas Eve. We'll be live. Maybe live before then. We'll see. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you've liked, subscribed, joined the channel. During the holiday, if we have some time off, check out our free trading course. It's amazing. There's dozens of episodes on all different topics. They are the best on YouTube. Check them out. Make sure you join our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. And if you want the VIP exclusive roles in that Discord, sign up with our exchange partner, BYDFi. No KYC, links in the video description below. I love you guys. I'll catch you soon. If I don't, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, winter solstice, whatever.